Hey ladies, can you believe we're on day 4 already? How awesome is that? So today is about a skill that I was horrible at my whole life. I still struggle with it sometimes, but I've gotten a lot better, and it has made a huge difference in my day and how I handle my kids and my stress level and my anxiety. I'm kind of what you would call, like, what would you call me? A perfectionist. I don't know, but I'm not perfect. But I like where I wouldn't ever goals, for example. I hated setting goals. Hated it because I didn't want to fail at them. So I didn't know what are appropriate goals to set so that I don't fail. The same thing applies to this, which is titled appropriately Satisfying Your Schedule. And the first time I was told that I need to time block my day if I want to be more productive and more at peace, and I cried. I cried. I'm not even kidding you. I set up my Excel sheet and I just stared at it and I cried because I was so stressed out. What do I put in here? What if my daughter doesn't take a nap during that time? What if I don't sleep well that night? What if a meeting comes up and that's not the time that we're having dinner? It's silly. I know it sounds silly, but if any of you have suffered from anxiety, you would know that it's not rational. So this is a tool that was scary for me to start and has changed the way I operate my household for the better. So I wanted to share this with you and try to make it simple and not stressful, and just let you know that you can ease into this. You can do it all. You can do a little bit of it. It's really how you want to do it. This is your life, right? So this is how we start, okay? So I use Excel. You can use Excel. You can use a Google form. You can look on, what's the name? Pinterest. There are a billion, cajillion weekly calendars on there. Pick one. Find one that you like. Put a motivational quote at the top of it. Find one with kitties on it, whatever it is that you're gonna like looking at, pick that, okay? And then what we're gonna do is have different categories. So this is why I like using Excel, but you can use like colored pens, you can use highlighters. You don't have to use any colors at all if you don't want to. It's just a very good visual cue to your brain that, hey, we're switching tasks, or this is what's coming up next. So the next thing I want to point out is that given our last talk on electronics, I learned that when I would go to open up my phone to look at the Excel sheet for my agenda for the day, then I would get distracted and start doing other things. So I started printing out. I would set up my entire block calendar for the week. I will print it out and I'll put it on my wall. And surprisingly, I was happy that I could look at it and see it all day, but my kids can see it. And with these colors, like these color cues, they are a lot more responsive to me and the time that I have for, self-care, taking a bath, or the time that I spend working and mentoring with my coaches and clients, things like that. They know is happening and they're more respectful towards it. So there's a lot of good benefits either way, whatever works for you. So I just can't stress that enough. So what we're going to do is we break it down into different categories. So you're going to look at, just think about your day. And don't get too stressed about this like I did. Just pick a day, because you're going to look at your whole week and just start roughly filling it out. What do you normally do? What do you want to be doing? What is realistic? Don't give yourself 4 hours of sleep, okay? Things like that. So I have some categories, and these are things that I incorporate into my everyday life. So they are personal development, because I think this is important, whether you're a business person, a stay-at-home mom, a college student. It doesn't matter. Personal development every single day is what's going to feed your mind, keep you focused on living a positive and intentional life. It's going to feed you that joy and encouragement that we all need, and help you grow different skills depending on what you're listening to or reading. So personal development, work time. Do you go to work? Do you work at home? What are your office hours? No matter what you're doing, put those in to your daily agenda. Free time can also be grouped with family time, friend time, things like that. It's just I was surprised at how much my calendar is this free time, because there's different kinds of free time, but what it means is it's not a time to be working on your laptop. It's not a time to be exercising. It's not a time to be listening, reading, journaling, whatever it is. It's your time to be present with your life and where you're at. Admin stuff. So admin stuff or red tape stuff. So mine is red. That's the red section that I have. Is things like paying bills, setting up your grocery list for the week. Do you have that scheduled into your day? Or are you always like I was, trying to oh no, we need more food, we're out of food, how much toilet paper do we have, whatever. Do you have that scheduled in? Because when you start scheduling that stuff, your life gets a lot simpler. When are you going grocery shopping? Stuff like that is your admin. Paying bills, responding to emails, just those important things that maybe aren't glamorous, but we need to do in our life. Project creation. I like this one. This is not something that I dedicated before or even identified it before. I like to group this with hobbies because I feel like we need that outlet. So project creation, are you working on anything? Do you have a household project that you're working on? Are you trying to organize the laundry room? Are you working on a new course like I have here? Are you doing Christmas cards or making a birthday present or quilting something or whatever project? What are you being innovative about? I think that's a cool thing to work in. It doesn't have to be every day. It can be twice a week, whenever is good for you. But I think it's important that we have that time to break up the day-to-day actions that we need to do and throw in some of those things that will get our brain cells firing in a different way. And maybe you need to figure out what that is for you. Maybe you never had that before, because before I was a fitness coach, I didn't have that. I didn't know. You could ask me what I liked to do and I wouldn't know. I didn't know what kind of music I liked. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I enjoyed doing anymore after becoming a mom. So it may be kind of a struggle at first, but it's a good struggle to try to figure out. And then the last thing I want to say to you is it's okay to fail. It's okay to not follow it exactly, because things are going to happen. Things are going to get interrupted. And that's okay. Change it next week. Change the way your thing goes, or the way that your calendar is flowing, your times. Make sure you put drive times in there when you're taking your kids to the 5 million things that they have going on, when you're commuting to work. The biggest thing is it's okay. It's okay if you don't follow it exactly. You are still going to see some benefit here. You're creating intentionality. It's really awesome. It's a way that you're going to get more out of your life because you're choosing how it's being ran. That's pretty awesome. I know there's one more thing I was going to say. I'm going to forget it. White space. Probably one of the key factors here. White space is the areas that you haven't filled in. It's the areas that are blank. Don't leave them blank. There's a lot of different sayings of this, as the devil waits in the white space. White space is the enemy to productivity, things like that. Because when you have white space, it's when you're just going to minimalize the importance of the other things that you have going on. Because you're going to get into this, just do whatever I want. It's also going to, it can mess with you in a way that lets depression in or anxiety in, because you don't know what to do with that time. So fill it in. If you have empty spaces on your calendar, put self-care in there. Take a bath. Read a fiction book that you enjoy. Put curlers in your hair. Put on some makeup. I don't know, whatever that, just pick something. You can add free time to it. You can increase your project creation time, anything like that. Just don't leave it blank. Make sure you have a purpose for your time. And you will see, I know it sounds constricting, but it's not. You'll see that it's actually very freeing, because you're getting more of what you want in your day. And that's a really awesome thing. So I hope this is helpful for you, as I do with all of our lessons every day. So put into place what you think is going to be useful for you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.